Pumpkin spice latte, please. All right, thank you.
When you walk in the street
Bye.
and nobody can hear you go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Are you happy? Don't I know you feel? 'Cause you're a freak when you get too near. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Are you happy? Like a ghost in the night, you're leaving me without goodbye. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Are you happy? It's a shame to give up. I really wanted one more try. Ooh, are you happy now?
All right, so one of my axioms that I have incorporated and shared with one of my favorite YouTube influencers, turn the camera on. That's it. That's my secret. And I'm sticking to it. Turn the camera on. Let me see if I can do that. Okay. I think that's going to work there. Is that going to work? Is that working? Looks like that's kind of working there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a little active track there. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So let's maybe get a little bit of coffee here. You know, I have to say that I'm very happy with the, I'm using right now, real simple. Let's do that. Yeah. We're going to have a little bit of coffee tonight. It's kind of late, but let me get my little catcher glass there and burp it. This is just going to be some straight black coffee, folks. So one of the things that I really like about this new DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is the responsiveness of the interface. You know, again, if I want to just go like this and turn the gimbal to look at the coffee, I can do that. And if I want to turn the gimbal back to look at my old ugly mug, there we go. So yeah, it's just so responsive. And I think that that active track is really working out too really well. Yeah, the active track. So it's about, kind of 8:30. It's, for me, it's late, okay? I'm an old guy now, as you can tell by all the wrinkles on my face. This is not a Halloween mask, folks. It's the real deal. But I'm getting to a point where, yeah, it's more of an excuse just saying I'm tired, you know. I'm tired, but so is everybody else in some way or another. I'm watching videos now of young people who are complaining about, you know, being tired, you know. Poor things, they have to work a 9-to-5 job and so on and so forth, and they're tired at the end of the day. Okay, yeah. So anyway, so what I thought I would do is I got the, as you saw earlier, the new iPhone 15. I'm really excited about that. Thought maybe we would do maybe a little pipe video here. Let's see if I can get one of my pipes here. Let's see, can I do this here? There we go. Yeah, do a little pipe video and do a little just a little chat, little fireside chat, and then try to put some things together to make yet another video vlog. Well, howdy there, pipe pals and gals, and I think that's the camera right over there. So I need to talk into the little green light there. Yeah, okay. All right, how y'all doing? Oh, welcome, Pipe Padre, coming back at you after my little Halloweeny video I had. Was it last week? Okay, how come that's not working now? Ah, come on. Okay. So I'm using my new iPhone 15. Is that going to self-focus? That I don't think that self-focuses. Kind of a little bit. Kind of a little bit. Okay. It doesn't do the product placement that the Sony ZV-E1 does. Anyway, so I'm actually trying to record onto my little SD card. See if that actually works. Yeah. So how y'all doing? It is the evening of November the 2nd in the year of our Lord, 2023. So how you like them apples, okay? Those autumn apples, okay. So I just wanted to kind of get on here and just experiment with all sorts of things. I got the Sony ZB, no, not, there I go again, Sony. This is the Osmo Pocket 3. That kind of does a little bit of self-focusing. That's kind of nice. And actually, I've been recording. I don't know if I've been completely recording on this or not, but anyway. But this little guy, I gotta say, is quite a champ. And I'm really looking forward to putting it in the stable of my cameras. So I've got 4 basic cameras now. The Sony ZV-E1, now the Osmo Pocket 3 that I'll be using, the Osmo Action 4, and now the iPhone 15. So these cameras now are really getting to a point where they produce excellent video quality, excellent audio quality, and they do it they do it relatively easily, I'll say. There's a little bit of a learning curve, and I'm going to be trying to maybe even use my iPad to try and maybe edit these on Final Cut Pro and on the iPad, because I've noticed that even though the iPad Final Cut Pro came out about 5 months ago, it's hard to believe 5 months ago. It just seemed like, wow, when the news that was going to happen for a lot of us YouTube content creators, just look and make sure there's no bears out there. You know, we had a bear break in right next door, and it just looks like the bears are, before the real winter sets in, they're out, or rummaging around, and looking for their, of course we have California bears, so they don't really hibernate that much because they have to be awake to get their welfare checks. So anyway, so the cameras and the vlogging is just, it's got to a point now, like I was going to say about the Final Cut for the iPad. It was at the time, it was like, wow, this is really happening. But it turned out that I think, and for myself, I'll just speak for myself, I think a lot of other people too, were disappointed because it really wasn't the same experience that you get on your computer, your desktop, or your laptop. It was a different animal altogether. Oh, who's bugging me now? Oh. I'll have to, don't think I had anything. A friend of mine said, didn't you have a dentist appointment today? I'm going, I don't think so. I hope not. But anyway, so that app just, well, I tried to use it a couple of times, and it just was it was more frustrating than it needed to be. I mean, instead of it being the same, I mean, it kind of looked a little bit like the same interface, but the controls were all different. And a lot of the features that I used just on basic video editing from at least my other channel, they weren't there. They were basic stuff, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just not gonna mess with it. I mean, I think I did 1 or 2 videos on it, and I just thought, you know, I can do a lot better, a lot faster, a lot more creativity at my fingertips to create videos than trying to do it on an iPad. And I kind of sense that I've noticed, and this is very telling, that 5 months ago there was interest in the YouTube video creators, Final Cut YouTube video people, and people were doing their, you know, hey, I'm trying out the new iPad, Final Cut Pro for iPad, and everybody had the same exact experience that this is just too frustrating. It's not like the real Final Cut Pro. It's a different thing. And I think a lot of people pretty much tried it out a few times and just said, no, it's not. It's not real Final Cut Pro. Now maybe they will, for us oldies, the old guard, maybe they'll try to, recalibrate it to where it's something that we can readily use. But for most people, you're basically learning a whole new program, software, and I think most people were saying, well, it doesn't work the way Final Cut works on the, on the Mac OS. It's just not the same thing. And it's interesting because the 5 months ago, you go back and you'll see maybe, I wouldn't say a flood of videos talking about it, but there were some. A lot of the YouTubers that I follow and have a lot of respect for, they tried to use it and talk about it and say, well, this is how it works on the iPad. But everybody that I know that I watched their videos, and I watched quite a few of them, they were pretty much, it was like, this really isn't working, no. And I think they just dropped it. I haven't picked it up in 5 months. Like I said, I did like 2, maybe 3 videos on it, and it was just very frustrating. And it just didn't have that wonderful Final Cut. Once you kind of learn a certain NLE, nonlinear editor, you kind of don't think about it. You just do it. It just kind of like, I guess it's like playing music. Once you learn the instrument, you're not worried about which key does what key, and you're just making music. There's that transition from learning something to creating with it. And I think a lot of people just thought, hey man, I've already learned how to use Final Cut Pro, and this ain't it. So I hate to say it because it seemed like it had a lot of promise to it. If it had a couple of the just basic features that I use on all my other videos on my other channel, I probably would try to learn the interface and try to maybe use it a little bit more. But I need other things, and then there are my plugins that I do for all the fancy stuff, and color grading and LUTs and little just little things that I do to create things, make things more interesting, But and I guess, apparently they were supposed to have plugin support later in the year, and it's later in the year, and I don't think they have plugin support. Maybe they do. I don't know. I haven't seen any manufacturers talking about plugins for the iPad. Maybe there are some. I don't know. I just haven't seen it. So anyway, but I digress. What I really wanted to say was that now that I've got the Osmo Pocket 3, I still got the 1 and 2, and maybe I'll do a little comparison just out of fun. Talking to my buddy Sky there in the Netherlands, a new YouTube friend of mine, and he, just is a wonderful, positive, fun guy, and just really has a great videography style. in some ways I'm going to try to use that as like a kind of a blueprint to kind of, say I'm going to try some of those little techniques as well. I'll try to do that in this video and just kind of break it up a little bit, make it more interesting.
You tossed me like a stone. You swept me off my feet. I can feel my bones. I still count the days. You swept me off my feet. I keep going high, she keeps going low. Something feels wrong right now, I know. Something feels wrong. You don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. I won't wait for you, 'cause you keep telling lies. I keep going high, she keeps going low. At the end of the day, she's gone low. You don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. And you keep telling lies. You played me like a game. You told me it was fine, but I could feel the pain. It's been so many days.
So
I still
anyway,
feel
coffee here, yeah, I love this. Just good old-fashioned black coffee, and just be able to kind of, I've kind of decided that I'm going to try I'm creating my own diet. All these years, I've done all these different diets, but I'm going to try my own diet, which I kind of thought, I've tried it before. Well, I actually haven't tried it. I've only had it in my mind. I thought, well, that would probably be a good thing to do. And maybe that would be something that would really be a healing kind of a thing. So I've got this, and I'm like day 2 now. We'll see if I stick with it, I know. But it's just kind of, I don't know. I love to eat. The old saying, there are some people that live to eat and some people eat to live. And I've always been the person that loves to eat. But food, you have to be careful with that. It's just like anything. And it can become, an addiction, or it can become something that gets out of control. And I just know, the old saying is, one of the cardinal sins is gluttony, and a lot of us, I think, are guilty of that. We just don't want to admit it. And we kind of give ourselves, I know I do, I'll speak for myself. I give myself an awful lot of leeway. I'm very lenient when it comes to my eating, and of course, these months from October to January, it's all just about copious self-indulgence, and I have in past, I've been able to kind of rein it in a little bit, and then people give me, I tell people, it's like, we don't feed the bears up here. There's a reason why you don't feed bears, okay? Bears, yes, they're exciting. I got to tell you, every time I see a bear, it makes my day, okay? And, just being that close to a wild animal, yes, they think it could probably rip me to pieces. And I've come, probably the last time I had a close encounter with a bear was, I was in the post office, and I was getting in my truck, and this black bear is looking right at me. He was about 50 feet away. He's near a garbage Dipsy dumpster. And I just went, "Oh, hi, Mr. Bear." And I just kind of talked to him for a little bit and got my truck and left. But it was kind of exciting to say, wow, I'm face to face with a black bear. And he was probably a young bear. He was maybe, he was probably about a 300 pounder, 350 pound now that I think about it. But he was just, scavenging for food. He wasn't aggressive or anything. I think he was just, he's the kind of a lot of the bears up here are habituated. They do know where they can find food, and if there's a dark house and there's a window access, they're gonna come in. And I think one of the things that you try to do most people find it successful, even though it's no guarantee. Just don't have any food out in your car, any food or drink, especially anything that's sweet. Oh my gosh, those bears love sweet stuff. You know, it's interesting. A lot of them go, when they break into a house, every single house they break into, they're going to go to the freezer. And you might go, well, why would they go to the freezer of all places? That's where the ice cream is. Yeah. And they know that. And they love sweets. They love ice cream. Now, yeah, you might find some fish in there too, but no, they don't care about the fish. They want that ice cream. And they know that a freezer is going to that's where they're going to most likely find the ice cream. And they do. And so don't leave food out. Don't leave food and drink in your car, you know, and just be smart, you know. And unfortunately, we have people that come up here, vacationers, especially in the summer and fall, and they'll leave all sorts of things, you know, because maybe they got little kids. Not that they leave the little kids in the car, but the thing is that the little kids have Cheerios and sugary cereals and what are those little things? Capri Sun drinks, or Sunny Delight drinks or fruit drinks. You know, bears are they're gonna suck that up. So anyway, I don't know how I got off onto the bears. Oh yeah, don't feed the bears and don't feed the priest here, you know, because I'm like an old bear, you know. I mean, if somebody says, "Father, would you like some cookies?" I go, "Cookies? Did you say cookies?" I'm a sucker for home baked goods. So don't feed the priests, for crying out loud. So sometimes I can do good. I have to get in that right frame of mind, and I just have to say I'm just not going to do the sweets for a while. I mean, I don't need them. Yeah, I love them, but and now I'm kind of getting to a point where it's a mindset thing, and then I just say, you know what, I'm going to take a vacation from the sweets. I'm going to take a vacation from treats. Okay, just and I know I feel so much better. I really, really do. So anyway, but I know this is the season. We're gonna, a couple of weeks it'll be Thanksgiving, and then next month it'll be Christmas. But then Christmas season with the Christmas cookies and the Christmas goodies and all that stuff. Man, it's sort of like, I don't know if what is this here? Okay, wow. And the battery life on this is just incredible. I'm telling you, man, it's amazing. I've seen so many reviews on this, and I'm telling you, I'm really impressed with the functionality of this camera. And the video quality is excellent. So it's like, oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Now, I don't know how durable it is. One guy was saying, yeah, it's not a bad camera, but I tried to put it on my bike, and I was going down all this cobblestone, and it messed up the gimbal. I'm going, well, I don't know if this is not an action camera. Okay. It's, now you could put it on you can do like a chest mount kind of a thing, or a shoulder strap mount, and that probably would work with something like this, but not on the handlebars. No. So sometimes you have to be a little bit, kind of think, you can't just, that can do anything and everything. It's sort of like a golf bag. You have different cameras for different things. And so anyway, just really excited about, the new video quality. Now, the reason why I'm excited about the iPhone 15, and I'm using that right now, is because it has now, with the USB-C, it has the ability now to record, instead of on the phone, you can record to an SSD or even a scan disk card, apparently. So that's what I'm trying out now. I don't know if it's actually recording to the scan disk or not. Wait a minute. Oh no, wait a minute. That says, okay, this says, this is giving me my readout on, I've done about a little over 19 minutes. Okay, great, that's fine. That's not a problem. So, how are y'all doing? Yeah, I just, sometimes I think that maybe, it's good to, kind of push yourself a little bit and not just let life pass you by. I mean, I like, there are times where I've worked, quite a bit, and I do need a little bit of a break. But I think lazy boys are, right up there with drinking and beer, and because there's a certain thing, I don't know what happens, but when I lean back in that chair, boy, I'm just, I'm ready sawing the logs if I'm not careful. And it's okay to take a little bit of maybe a siesta, maybe a little power nap. But sometimes I don't like that, because then I feel, groggy for the rest of the day and the evening. And, I'm kind of like, now I want to just go to bed for the most part. So, and I'd rather just do things like this, make videos, learn new things, talk to friends, that kind of thing, instead of wasting my time just doing nothing. I just don't like that. I really do like creating things and drinking lots of good coffee. You betcha. Yeah, now, because I do drink coffee in the afternoons and the evenings, if I don't drink it, I get horrible headaches at night. So this will prevent me from getting a headache at night. I'll still sleep, and I'll probably do okay. I'll do pretty good. But I've realized over the years, the last 10, 12 years, that I kind of went through the weight loss, and then I kind of put it back on a bit and take it back off a little bit, and but there is a point where you kind of realize, and it's kind of it's just the real simple thing, is that you don't need as much food as you think you do. You really don't. I know I can do one meal a day, and that's kind of a balancing act, because it has to be the right kind of composite of macronutrients and things like that. But if again, if you're eating a lot of junk food in one meal, that's not good. That just, you're setting yourself up for real disaster doing that. But if you're eating healthy and you're just just getting the fuel in, you can go. I can easily go one meal a day, and I have no problems with that. Now, do I get a little bit hungry in the evenings if I eat earlier in the days? I think some people say if you really want to lose the weight, eat around 10 or 11, and then once you're done, you're done. You pull yourself away from the table, push yourself away from the table, and you're just done. You're just, okay? And you don't snack. When I don't snack at night, I don't get heartburn. I don't have fits of, and my sleep isn't messed up for some reason, again, because I'm not digesting food really, But anyway, I recognize that I can probably get by with a lot less, and there have been periods where I have done that, and I've kind of said, okay, I think my body has adapted to that. So when I go back and I overindulge, boy, do I feel it. So it's like, I don't really need to do that. Why do I do that? It's just, sometimes you eat out. I guess I eat out of boredom for the most part, that's part of it. It's just mostly like, I'm bored, I'm watching TV. So anyway, so I don't know about you, and how you do food. But if I get in the right frame of mind for this next week or two, I got to get in the groove though. It takes about 2 weeks. It takes about 2 weeks to get into that groove, to where you build up a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline, I guess, self-control. And because when you're in the early stages, it's so easy to give into temptations. Again, somebody brings you a chocolate cake for a treat or something. Hey, it's your birthday. Here's a cake, Oh, gee, thanks. You shouldn't have. Please, you shouldn't have. Or somebody wants to take you out to a nice dinner, and it's really, has lots of carbs and sugar and everything. And it's like, oh, you got to try the dessert here. It's the best you'll ever have, And, you got to try the fries. The fries are delicious. I'm sure they're delicious. I know they're delicious. I don't even have to taste them to know that they're delicious. You know? I mean, people mean well, and I think a lot of people kind of just, it's almost like when I was drinking in my drinking days, you know, you want to encourage your friends to drink like you because that makes you then you don't feel like you're such a drunk because, well, everybody else is drinking like me, so I can't be all that bad. And people do the same thing with food, you know, it's just like, you know, and you try to be polite about it, say thank you, but no thank you. You know, sometimes people, you know, the one thing I wish I could get back to, and again, you just have to get into this, you got to get into that groove, you know, where people might want to give you a treat. And again, it's a wonderful thing if you can exercise it, but it takes a lot of discipline. And in the beginning, it's hard. But I'll never forget when I was in that zone about 10, 12 years ago, I was able to do some really, when I look back on myself, kind of incredible things. And one of them was this self-control of not overindulging. I was like, I got to a point where it was just, I had it down. I really had it down. And I was counting all the calories and the macros, and I was doing all the exercises. And guess what? I got in shape. I felt great, you know? And every once in a while, you know, I'd have maybe a little splurge, but it wasn't this overindulgence thing, you know, like I got off the wagon. You know, somebody would say, here, you want to try some cheesecake? I'll take a little bite and I'm done. Thank you. Oh, but you didn't eat it all. No, I don't need to eat it all. I had a taste and I enjoyed it. Thank you. You know, and it's just that's the kind of freedom that I want to get back to. Instead of this yo-yo back and forth, you know, and it's just like, you know, I just don't want to have to do that. You know, I mean, I think I've got to a point where I know, and I have some amount of coping skills and skills that I could actually employ. It's just that I have to make this conscious decision, you know, for the next 2 weeks to literally just say, no, I'm done, you know? And once I get in that groove, it takes, like I said, about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, then it becomes really, it's just second nature, and it's not a deal breaker. It's not a real pain. It's just how I live. But then again, you know, sometimes people will come and they don't mean to sabotage you. And it's, you know, you're the one who really puts the food in your mouth. I mean, no one's really going to strap you down in a chair and, you know, pry your mouth open and shove it in. But they make it pretty easy for you to say yes to yourself. And so anyway, I don't know why I got into that little rant there, or that little, got on my soapbox there. But it's just that I know I have the tools, you know. It's like video editing. I got the tools. I just got to put them into practice. And so this guy, getting back to video editing and vlogging, and I know a lot of you are vloggers. Maybe you don't even think of yourself as vloggers, but you are, you know, if you're making videos, you're vlogging, you know, maybe you're talking about your favorite pipe, or, you know, you're talking about your favorite tobacco, your you know, whatever it is, you know, you're vlogging about, you know, the art of pipe smoking, and, you know, that's why we all love you out there. But now I just draw a blank there. But the thing is that, you know, I was talking to this guy in the Netherlands, and, you know, he was saying, well, what are some of your, guiding principles when it comes to making videos? And I never really thought about it that much. For me, it's always been kind of a necessity. On my other channel, because I have to preach every Sunday. And if I'm not practicing, if I'm not looking at the readings, if I'm not kind of, you know, working with them early in the week, then it doesn't, I'm not ready on Sunday. I got to kind of be, you know, in practice mode for the week and thinking about things and putting things together. Not to say that I'm, you know, being a phony and I'm making it, you know, I'm putting on an act, but there is a point where you have to kind of rehearse, or you have to understand what you're going to say to people, and it has to come across with some sincerity. You know, it's like, you know, you just can't get up there and just literally read something and then put it down. I mean, that doesn't help anybody. But if you're really thinking about the readings and you're wrestling with them, a lot of times I wrestle with them. Then it's very helpful. So, you know, 14 years ago when I started this whole thing, the other channel, that's what I did. It was just kind of, I never thought about the process, but now I'm thinking about the process and thinking, okay, how can I make this even more interesting, more, putting in some more extra sauce.
The vine, we are the branches. I can do nothing apart from you. Giver of life, the one to hold on to. I can do nothing apart from you. No, no. You're my lifeline. You're my lifeline. You're my lifeline. You're my lifeline. You're my lifeline.
That's what it is. And so this guy, so he was saying, he was talking about just the other day, what are the principles that kind of motivates him in his vlogging style and everything. And so I just started thinking, well, a lot of times I always surprise myself, not too hard to do, by just turning the camera on. Because sometimes I'll go back and I'll look at something that I have and I said, why did I do that? What was I copying somebody intentionally, knowingly, or did I just turn the camera on and so it's sort of like maybe I am copying somebody. I don't know. I mean, there's hardly any originality in a lot of things in life, but we always probably are maybe subconsciously copying somebody. But I just would say, well, why did I shoot that way? What prompted me to do that? If you look at my little intro, I look back on that and I go, well, that's kind of interesting. and I'm just being critical, but I'm not trying to be like, put myself on the back. But I'm going, that was kind of an interesting. How did I learn to do that? And sometimes I'll find a picture that I'll take and I go, that was an interesting picture. Why did I take it like that? Why did I choose that angle and not another angle? And a lot of times because sometimes I don't think about it a lot. A lot of times, and I said, maybe my little video axiom is just turn the camera on. And the guy actually responded, he goes, I like that one. And it's true. Sometimes you just turn the camera on and just see what comes out. Now, a lot of times it doesn't. I'm not saying that that's how you do it. I'm just saying that for me, sometimes if I have a little thought in the back of my head, my head's pretty much empty, as most of you know. But every now and then I'll go, I wonder what that would look like. Just filming shadows, or filming certain refractions of light, That's always kind of interesting, And I've had other people who were into photography, and they would talk about certain concepts, and I kind of pick up on it. I go, oh, interesting. Yeah, I see that. They point it out and they go, okay. Like at sunset, he talked about, how did he describe it? Oh, the afterglow or the after dust on the clouds anyway, but after the sun begins to set, there are clouds on the horizon, but then there are the clouds that are in the front, and they also get a certain casting of light that's thrown from the rays that are setting on the sun. So you get the clouds on the horizon, but then the back clouds also get color. They get illuminated from the bottom. Anyway, I forgot he had a name for that. The second wash or something like that. I forgot what it was. It was intriguing, but it was kind of funny. Like, okay, I got that concept. I understand that. And it just, you look for those kinds of colors at sunset. Of course, we talk about sunset being the golden hour, or the dusk being the golden hour, And I think the blue light is in the early morning. I think I understand that concept. So, these are just concepts, but once you kind of start to figure out how they work and how you can kind of, read them and capture them, then that's where it gets interesting, But anyway, I digress. I don't know why I even talk about that stuff. But I just wanted to get on here and talk to you in the back there Just say howdy, see how you're all doing. What are you things that you like to do? I mean, I love this time of year. I think all of us say, as the seasons change, especially if you live in a four-season area like I do, you'll say, oh, I really love the fall. Then the winter comes in. Oh, I really love the winter time. And then the spring. Oh, I really love springtime. It just seems like so funny because it was just about, 5 months ago that we were just coming out of this horrific winter. And it was just kind of like, and my back was out. So I was miserable. And I was just ready for winter to be gone. I just got tired of all the snow on the roof and all the problems that the snow can bring if it comes too fast and heavy, and it's just like there's no let up. That was just so intense last summer. Yeah, snow in summer. Yeah. Well, actually, we do up here. We actually are famous for having skiing in July because sometimes the summers. I keep saying that. The winters are so extreme sometimes. The only thing that we don't get, thanks be to God, is the Arctic temperatures. We get the picture postcard winters and some, there I go again, winters, because we just don't get like 20 and 30 and 40 below. We just don't, thanks be to God, we don't live in that kind of harsh winter. Now it gets around, can get in the teens, it can get in the single digits. Several times, that's not impossible, and it does happen, maybe 10 or 12, 15 days out of the winter, but those are the real extremes, and those usually happen, I think, in February, so that's when we get our real cold snap. But right now, today was 51 degrees outside, it's 47, that's pretty warm right now, man, that's t-shirt weather here. I mean, I'd walk out, I did walk out in t-shirt weather, at 51, and I'm feeling absolutely comfortable. It's just, I love it. But I know winter's on its way, and like I said, the last two were pretty extreme. Last year was extreme, but anyway, let's just kind of get through it. But I mean, I'm just thinking, just 5 months ago, we're talking about the Bud Light controversy and tornadoes and all sorts of cool stuff, and my back was starting to heal up after a while. And then eventually it got all healed up, and I'm just feeling great right now. Thank the Lord. So anyway, life's good right now, and I guess that's the thing. Sometimes you have to stop and be grateful for what you have, because it changes. It changes sometimes pretty overnight kind of stuff. It can get serious and. You can be in a good spot one day and in a bad spot the next. I hate to say it, but I don't mean to be doom and gloom. But the last few months have been really busy, and that's a good thing. And so I'm hoping that, as long as my health holds out, I can keep making videos. And I think in some ways, the excitement of learning new things and trying new things and just kind of investing yourself in your own life in itself is such a reward, instead of, there was a time, I've shared this before, there was a time when I pretty much drank my days away, and I look back and I say, man, I wasted so much time, I wasted, so much of life just, drinking and just kind of being in my own little world, and now I see life as this wonderful kind of big expanse of life, and I get the opportunity, I get the privilege to go out and kind of meet that life and embrace it and try it out. Yeah, there are days that sometimes, really hating life, that sometimes when we're in the military, but for the most part, there are going to be challenges, there are going to be problems with people, that's just part and parcel of life. You got to work those things out. Things will break down, you'll have problems, as much as I love the tech and all the cool new toys, the thing is that there are days that they don't work, you see a bear or you see something exciting and you turn on the camera and it says, oh, I'm sorry, you have to update to the new firmware, and you can't use the camera, which is kind of like a real pain in the rear end. It's like, I want to take a picture of that bear. Or I want to take a picture of that sunset, you know, and, well, sorry, got to download the new firmware. You know, it's like, oh, great.
Is there something else I can help?
Oh, stop. See, and that's another thing. Sometimes with AI, and her name is, you know, all you have to do is make a certain sound, and it thinks you're invoking them, you know, and it's like, what do you want now? Can I help you? You know, it's like, no, go away. But anyway, that's first world problems, I know. So anyway, okay, I've rambled on long enough. I'm going to try to play with some more, learn some more basically, and see if this is going to work. Going to try and maybe do it on the iPad, maybe see if I can get that to work. I got this little problem with my finger here. It's got this little weird callus thing. I'm going to have the doctor look at that because it's kind of getting worse. You know, I mean, you know, my hands are kind of. I mean, just this one finger. It just kind of like it doesn't want to kind of do what, you know, like. I mean, I can still use my hand and everything. It's just that this one's getting kind of clogged up or something. I don't know. Okay, so thanks for watching. And also, I want to say thank you to all of you who left some really nice comments about my little Halloween special. Had a little fun doing that, as you probably could tell. Some people, I think, thought that was fun, and I think now people kind of know that as long as I'm still breathing, I'm going to probably do a little fun little Halloween special. And every year I try to do something a little bit different. I don't know, you know, what, I mean, I've tried different weird things, and I'm not trying to celebrate, you know, really something Halloween, like evil. It's just scary stuff. But again, unfortunately, we live in a world where there really are real monsters, you know, and unfortunately, they do exist. It's sad to say, but there are a lot more good people, I believe, in the world, and people that are, you know, desiring the good deep down inside, and as long as we're all kind of moving in that direction, I think the forces of good will eventually overtake or be more triumphant over the forces of evil in the world. Yeah. Okay. I hope you got something out of that. Okay. So thanks for watching, folks. Again, as I want to say, light up your world. And light up your pipe. And let me know. I know I talked a couple of months ago about maybe a possible contest. I'm kind of I wouldn't mind doing that. I don't know if they do, if you guys in YouTube Pipe community do contests anymore. I kind of got the impression from some people that the YouTube pipe community is kind of dwindling. I don't know. I don't sense that, but then again, I've got to be honest. I'm not always checking out everybody's videos all the time. But if a contest would be something you'd be interested in, again, it would give me an opportunity to, you know, put together a fun video. Making a contest video is kind of fun because you get the concept, and then you know. So I've had a couple of really nice contests over the years, but haven't had one in probably maybe 5 or 6, 8 years maybe. But anyway, like I said, if you're interested, let me know. Drop me a little comment below and just say, hey, you know. And again, I'd make it worth your while. I don't know what I would. What kind of a gift it would be or a prize it would be, but it would be something substantial. And but got to think about it. But I just need to know if there's an interest, and I don't know if there's an interest. Okay. So thank you much for watching, and don't know if I'm going to make another video this month. Maybe I will. I don't know. A Halloween video, where I did that one. A Thanksgiving video. I don't know. Something around Thanksgiving time. Maybe I will. Probably. I might have some free time and put something together. So anyway, but thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one for sure. All right, take care. Good night now.